Peace, 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 peace. We'll wait for some people to come in alive. Give it a couple of minutes. Let's see what's going on. For some reason, YouTube, for some reason, my phone, for some reason, my phone, my phone is backed up and I can't put any information on it. I've been trying to change it. I've been trying to upload videos all morning. I've been recording the same video all morning, and I don't know what's wrong. What's inside of my YouTube, or I mean, what's inside my phone? What's holding on the memory? So I decided to just do it live. I tried to record it on the YouTube platform. It wouldn't hold so I did a whole 20-minute video for nothing. Tried to record it on my phone. It wouldn't keep. So I did that video for nothing. So shout out to y'all for rocking with me. I'm here. I'm using my laptop as well, so I can see if y'all talk to me in the chat. What I want to talk about today is, I see I got a couple of people here. Shout out to the three of y'all watching. What I want to talk about today is something that I think is very pertinent, especially since this new moon is here and we're basically riding off the energy of the new moon that was in Gemini on Friday. Now, Gemini is an interesting sign because Geminis are very much, the dual side, the positive and negative. If you've ever been with a Gemini, been in a relationship, or been around a Gemini, some days you'll get a Gemini that's very happy, very cool, ready to party, ready to have the best of fun, the best of laughs. And some days you might get a Gemini that's a total asshole, that's not cool, not ready to have fun and just miserable, But this is what makes Geminis great artists because, Biggie was a Gemini, Prince was a Gemini, Tupac was a Gemini, right? Because they're able to communicate to both sides of who we are. So the way to harness this energy is through communication, right? Because they're very good at communication and communicating the shadow self and also the light body or the light self, right? And what we are trying to do on a spiritual path is we are trying to manifest the highest levels of our light self. Because if we look at the chakras, we'll notice that all the chakras are different colors, right? If you look at this picture back here, right? It shows you that light ascends in a pyramid. So, and we also know that as you gain more and more light, you separate yourself from more and more people. As you go down the spiritual path, you're going to be separating yourself. There's something in the Bible that talk about separating the sheep from the goats. But when you're on an esoteric spiritual path or a path that people necessarily don't understand, you're essentially separating yourself from them, right? And it's just like the base of a pyramid, right? There's more people that's on the base of a pyramid or at the bottom than there will be people at the top, right? Everything goes in a pyramid form, which is why it is on your dollar bill, which is why they stole those sciences, those African spiritual sciences from us, because everything ascends in a pyramid form. So there's always going to be a broad base of people. There's always going to be less people on the narrow road. But as you are working to ascend your light and ascend of this chakra system, you are able to have access to more spiritual powers, access to more ancestors, access to different realms, access to different levels of perception that don't take place with these two eyes, but take place with this eye also. So you're able to perceive different things. We call those things downloads. We call those things uploads. But to get to what I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about a simple thing. Let's say you don't have an altar, right? You're in a space where you don't have your own space, you don't have your own home. Or let's say you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't necessarily agree with your way of life, right? You're starting to wake up, you're listening to your Bobby Hemmett videos, you're listening to C. Freeman L. You are listening to Jewel Pookrum, right? You're starting to tap into these different life sciences. You're studying your history, you're studying your spirituality, you're reading books by Wayne Chandler and Gerald Massey, and you're studying, symbology or symbolism, things like that, in different sciences like quantum physics. And now you're starting to wake up. So as you're waking up and you're unveiling this energy, you may be with someone who just doesn't think that way. They're not doing this. They refuse to do it. They're stubborn. They want to wear the mask, everywhere. They're very fearful. They're very nervous. And, bless them, let's hope for the best for them. We don't wish evil on them because at once we were them, right? We understand where they are, but we're still going to ride our own rocket ship to outer space and leave them here on Earth. So you don't have this altar, you don't have candles, you don't have money for these supplies, you don't have money to buy certain herbs. A simple thing to do is all you really need is a pen and a paper, pen and a piece of paper, and that's it. A pen and a piece of paper to write out your manifestations. Now you say, man, well, Rob, I mean, I've heard from all these people that I need to have this altar, right? It is absolutely necessary for me to have this altar, or I can't manifest the things I want, and I can't have access to my ancestors. Well, first and foremost, or the most common thing is I have to go through some sort of ritual proceeding that I have to pay for. I have to pay, a couple $1,000s to be initiated, and then I will be able to tap into my ancestors. Well, let's debunk that because your ancestors are always here. Your ancestors never left. Your ancestors live within your bloodstream. That's A. B, you are made of stardust. So you are made of every element in the universe is within you. You are literally stardust. So every star you see in the sky, you could say you are that. You are one with that. You are made of all the elements of that. So no one needs to initiate you into who you are. No one needs to initiate a God into becoming a God. A God is a God from birth. A God is a God from birth. A God knows he is God by the fruit that he bears, right? And what he or she seeks. So no one needs to initiate you into that. All you need to do is harness energy and utilize energy to your advantage. And once you're able to utilize energy to your advantage, you are able to access different light frequencies. And once you're able to access different light frequencies, you are able to access angels, which are really your ancestors. And once you're able to access these angels and these ancestors on these different light frequencies, because everyone who passes away on a different frequency. Some people are stuck in the root chakra. Some people are stuck in their sacral chakra. Some people are stuck in their heart chakra, right? Very few people make it to where they're able to master the crown chakra and have access to different spiritual abilities, right? So when we have an altar is essentially a battery. And the altar is that battery that powers your rainbow bridge, the rainbow bridge of your chakras. And if you look at the movie Thor, you'll see whenever he goes to meet with the gods, what does he do? He strikes the hammer and lights up the rainbow bridge. And once he goes up the rainbow bridge, then he's able to ascend up to Asgard to meet the gods. But that is a representation or a mythological representation of utilizing light to gain access to the gods or gain access to the ancestors, or utilizing different frequencies of light or different colors along the electromagnetic spectrum or different frequencies of the chakra system to access light. So accessing these different frequencies of light is different frequencies of ancestors. This is why you don't need to be initiated, or you don't need to worship an ancestor or worship a deity or worship a god. You need to invoke that energy unto oneself. So this is a way to do it without having a an actual altar in itself. So let's say you have, and so let's just use, this is an old one that I use that I ripped out of my book, but this is one I was using for money, right? Or wanting to manifest money. So you'll see I have certain images, right? You see a dollar sign, you see a smiley face, you see a dollar sign on the paper, right? Right. So again, we're accessing energy, right? So these dollar signs are, and a dollar money is currency. Money is called currency. Currency is energy. When you're giving off currency or energy, you're giving forth a vibration. Currency, energy, vibration, frequency. So currency is money. Money is currency. This is why they have a pyramid also again on a dollar bill, because it's dealing with energy or generating a certain amount of energy. When you go to your job or whatever you do as far as business is concerned, you're generating energy for your own company or for the company you work for. So you're putting power. You are a human resource. So you are essentially a battery of living energy. But your energy is going towards making that company great and, of course, bringing home your paycheck at the end of the day. So you get rewarded with currency, you give forth currency. So it's an energetic relationship, right? So when they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So the reason I have different pictures, right, on here is because when I manifest my money, right, I want to manifest my money. I want it to be joyful, right? I don't want anybody in my family to get hurt. I don't want anybody that I know to get hurt. I don't want any pain. I don't want to be in a car accident and receive a settlement and get my money, right? I want my money to come through when I'm happy. So this is a representation of that. Also, the dollar sign, right? Well, you can't probably see it with this camera, but the dollar sign is, well, you can see it here. Dollar sign is a representative of the caduceus, and the caduceus is a representative. Even if you look at the dollar sign, right? It's can't really see it here. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, so the dollar sign is two. So it's two swipes. It represents two lines. So it represents a positive and negative charge, right? It's two lines in the dollar sign. It represents a positive and negative charge. And then you could see the S represents a snake or kundalini. So it's actually representative energy rising. So it is really, the dollar sign is really an energy symbol, right? So I want my money to come in happily, and I want the energy of currency to come with me, right? While I'm writing this out. Now, while I'm writing for the thing I want to manifest, and I'm using money because everybody wants money, especially during this time. When I'm writing, what I'm also doing, right? So I'm writing out basically an affirmation, right? But I'm gonna show you the proper way to use affirmations too, right? I'm gonna try to wrap this up in like 25 minutes, so bear with me. Explain a lot of concepts, but I want to be thorough so you could explain this even to a scientist, right? That asks you about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and an occultist. So what I wrote on this particular one, I'm gonna use a different one. So I wrote, I am wise and take advantage of opportunities, right? I am wise and take advantage of opportunities. So what I'm thinking when I'm writing this, I am wise and taking advantage of opportunities. I'm writing, right? And I'm thinking of opportunities. I'm thinking of people come to me sending me emails. I'm thinking about getting inboxes from people on Facebook and Instagram, different opportunities and different ways to look at it. And I'm thinking of myself taking advantage of the proper opportunities while I'm writing. And what I'm doing while doing this is I am engaging the left brain, which deals with verbals or deals with actual writing or deals with actual action. I'm dealing with the left brain, which deals with words, and I'm also dealing with the right brain, which deals with visualization or wholes. So left brain, I'm dealing with the words or the affirmation. Right brain, I'm dealing with the visuals. So what I'm creating in my brain is an atomic charge, right? Because I'm using basically positive and negative forces, positive and negative forces in my brain. So I'm creating a charge of energy. I'm literally uniting both hemispheres of my brain. And I'm sending neurons, right? Neurons basically are pathways for electricity in your brain. So I'm sending neurons that fire together, wire together. So I'm doing both. I'm engaging both parts of my brain. My brain is now lit up, sending out energy, frequency out. See, this is the stuff behind the magic that people don't tell you. They just tell you about the magic and boopity boppity boo and abracadabra. But no, you have to be able to understand what you're doing so that you don't get conned by someone who's just telling you to do some shit, but you don't really understand what's going on, right? So again, I'm writing, I'm wise and take advantage of opportunities. I'm seeing these opportunities come for the things that I want to manifest in the area or in the arena I want to manifest. Let's say it's a new job. Let's say it's a new girl. Let's say it's a new house. Let's say it's a new car. Let's say it's just getting something that I need real quick, and I'm writing and writing. What I do is I write until I'm exhausted. I write until I'm exhausted. And then on one page, I'll write the symbol, money symbol. But let's say it's a new home. I might write a home on the outside, or a symbol of what a home means to me on the outside, or a sigil, which is basically a visual representation, or a symbol. A sigil is basically a symbol of what you want. Also, going back to Thor, if you notice, whenever Thor goes to Asgard and he strikes that hammer, an electrical charge, right? Positive and negative. When he strikes that hammer, creates that charge, he leaves a sigil on the ground whenever he's going, and then he goes up the Rainbow Bridge in order to travel to Asgard. And again, we said the Rainbow Bridge is the chakra system. So he's leaving a symbol on the ground. Well, I'm leaving a symbol on the ground because this paper is representing Earth, right? So again, I'm doing a long explanation, but by the time I do this, you should be able to understand how you can replicate and manifest what you want, right? So I'm wise to take advantage of opportunities. And again, if you notice, I'm not just saying I want money. I'm not just saying I want $10,000. I'm not just saying I want 15 or 20,000 or $100,000. You could do that. You could say that, right? But me, I don't know where the money's coming from. I don't know where the opportunity's coming from. And I don't want to limit my access in the universe to where I'm getting, $5 here, there, everywhere, or I'm getting $1 million from a scratch off, or I just win a raffle somewhere. So I just want to be able to see the opportunity, right? And seeing the opportunity and being wise enough to take advantage of it and wise enough not to fuck it off, right, will get me the currency, will get me the money that I want, will make sure that I can survive within the coronavirus, which I am. I literally don't want for anything during this coronavirus. I'll be honest with you. And I can't say that I've been living off unemployment during the coronavirus either. That's facts. That's facts. So because I have other streams of income, I'm able to I'm able to be able to live comfortably during the coronavirus. And a lot of people are struggling and not able to do that. A lot of people were waiting for unemployment benefits, especially here in New York, that didn't hit and was suffering because they were not prepared or they were not financially able to manifest money. So definitely you want to always manifest some currency when you're doing a ritual, but you also want to be a giver as well. So you're writing, you're creating, and again, writing till I write till exhaustion, right? Till I don't want to write no more. Then I'll write again. Sometimes I'll do, depending on what it is, I'll do 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. And you could do this for anything. You could do this for reasons of manifesting things. You could do this for with an intention of harming someone that's bothering you, right? You could do this with hexes. You could do this with getting things. You could do this with anything. You can manifest anything simply by writing it out. And what you're basically replicating is again that battery process, and you're representing what your candles are doing on your altars anyway. And I'm going to show you how your candles represent 4 elements, and how you doing this is representing 4 elements as well. Follow me. When you light your candles on your altars, your candles all have colors, right? They all have different light frequencies. So those colors of those candles represent something. So whether it's a money candle, whether it's a love candle, the color of the candle represents something. It represents a vibration and frequency. Now you can get fancy and use colored paper, but what I'm just showing you is that there's different frequencies and different intentions, and you could use these words to pull out different frequencies and different vibrations and access different ways of light. So anyway, you're you're using this. You're trying to manifest anything that you want. How it represents a candle is as follows. Your pen, 4 elements: fire, air, earth, and water. Fire, air, earth, and water. Your pen represents the water. Your pen represents water. So it represents the liquid that you're using. Your paper obviously represents the earth, right? Water, earth. Fire is the thoughts that you're generating in your head, the visualization. Then while you're visualizing, you also want to feel that you already have these things. When I'm thinking about these opportunities, I already feel that I have them. I already feel that opportunities are coming. I already feel I'm going to get something in the mail. I already feel that I'm going to get this extra check. I already feel that somebody's going to come to me to tell me about this business. I already feel like somebody's going to come to me and tell me about this grant. I already feel that someone's going to come to me and tell me about this loan as I'm writing, right? So I am generating fire. I am generating an electrical charge, literally fire within myself, right? So water, earth, fire, right? And air. You writing. You writing, you're generating air. You're generating wind. You're generating air, right? With your candle, you're doing the same thing. Your candle, obviously, you light it with fire. Your candle lights the fire on the wick. So that's the fire, representing your thoughts. Right? The candle represents the fire of your thoughts. You have earth, which is the wax of the candle, right? Which represents your body as well. You have, so we did what? Fire, earth. You have water, which represents the wax of the wax represents the water, which also represents your inner waters, right? This is why we look at when we burn candles, we look at the candle wax and how it melts and how it looks inside the candle because it represents your inner waters, your 78% water. And when you light your candles, so we did fire, well, we did fire, earth, water, and of course air. With the candle burning, it generates wind, right? When it's burning, you'll see the candle flicker. The reason it's flicker is because of the air in the environment, right? So which is wind. Even though it's light, you may not feel it, it is still wind. So that is the air. So the four elements of this, and the wind represents your voice, your speaking, right? Your the sound, because sound is power. So we really live in a light and sound show. So again, you could do this with anything that you want to manifest. If even if you don't have an altar, this is a new moon. Again, the new moon's in Gemini. So this is a Gemini season, right? And if you know or been with the Gemini, you'll know that Geminis are, they can be crazy people, right? They can be fun people, but they can be people that are very unpredictable because they're dual-sided, right? You could be with a Gemini that's very happy and very enjoyable to be around, right? One day, and then the next day they could be miserable, and very insufferable to be around, right? A lot of artists, Prince is a Gemini or was a Gemini. Biggie was a Gemini. Tupac was a Gemini. These artists that are able to tap into both sides and communicate both sides of the human spectrum, the light and the darkness within. So that's a very creative process. So this energy is one that deals with communication, right? Because art is a form of communication. It's a form of communication to the spirit, right? Art is definitely a spiritual communication tool. So when we are manifesting magic, this is one of the ways that we could communicate to the spirit world in lieu of having an altar and still manifest the things that we want, still create the life that we want using our own energy. I recommend that this is a practice that you do, initially, 3 days straight in the morning, in the evening, for 3 days straight in order to manifest the things that you want. Definitely today would be a good day to start. It's Sunday, the day of the sun, the day of the light, and also new moon energy. So you can get ready for this lunar eclipse that's coming up in a couple of weeks, and then revisit this, and revision it so that you could continue to charge up the energy. It's the same the hammer striking in order to light the rainbow bridge. You have to have a charge to manifest your energy. And the charge lies in your visualization, the charge lies in your affirmation, and the charge lies in your emotions, you feeling it. So light, sound, right? Light, sound, word, right? Light, sound, word. So your vision is the light, the word that comes out your mouth, right? And the sound from your heartbeat, from you starting to take these moves. And of course, with you writing these things out, over and over and over and over and over, you're also generating an affirmation in your head. So when you think about these things during your normal day-to-day life and your day, what they call daydreams, now you're also recharging this energy. The way we learn things is through repetition. The way we create things is by repetitiously thinking about them. right? So people say do the magic and just leave it alone. I disagree. Everything we learn in life is through repetition. And in order for anything to be manifest, any type of dream, the artist or the creator of that dream has to continuously think about that dream and continuously put energy towards it so that he could create that dream into reality. So again, you don't need an altar. Altar again is a great thing to have because it is a visual representation and also a way to communicate with your ancestors. Also, another thing you can do with your writing, if you need ancestral help, right, or want to tap into one of your ancestors when you're writing your petition, because this is a form of a petition, you could write that ancestor that you want to aid you on the back of the paper and do the same thing. You can write that ancestor's name over and over and over and over and over on the back of the paper until exhaustion. And you could ask that ancestor for help or aid with that petition, right? Or if you just want to honor that ancestor in particular, you could do the same thing. Write that energy over and over and over and over, and you're giving light, you're giving energy, you're giving that hammer strike to that rainbow bridge within, and in enlightening yourself. I hope this made sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace, power, and prosperity. I usually have videos with slides and edits, but what's going on with my phone? I don't know what's up. I delete apps, everything. Everything is still. I went to the T-Mobile store. They don't know what's going on with my storage. I deleted pictures, everything. So y'all be seeing more and more live videos. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Rob Blackstone, peace, power, and prosperity. I'm out.